These are the Dragons, 5 of Britain's wealthiest and most enterprising business leaders. Over the coming weeks, they'll make or break the dreams of dozens of budding entrepreneurs.
Oh, what? That's weird.
Yes.
It's so
You've got some
ticklish.
fish on the top of your feet.
I'm going to make you an offer, but I want a higher percentage.
You stand in front of a group of people who could change your life overnight.
How do you hope to grow your business if you can't even motivate yourself to do what should have been the biggest pitch of your life?
Have you ever heard of saying a mountain to climb? You got several.
The multimillionaire investors have each built up their fortunes from scratch. Hotel and health club owner Duncan Bannatyne, leisure industry expert Deborah Meaden, retail magnate Theo Paphitis, telecoms giant Peter Jones, and Hilary Devey, who made her millions in the haulage industry. The Dragons have the credentials, the contacts, the commitment and the cash ready to invest, but only in the right business. Will any of these hopeful entrepreneurs walk away with their money? Welcome to the Dragon's Den. Our 5 multimillionaires are ready and waiting to put that all-important investment into business ideas and inventions that come before them. But it's their own money at stake, so only the best entrepreneurs can expect to walk away with any cash. Hong Kong-born Karen Ho and husband To Chan are first into the den. The beauty industry is notoriously hard to succeed in, but can their new concept overcome the challenges?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm To.
And I'm Karen.
And we're representing Aqua Shaco Fish Spa. We're looking for 150k investment in return for 30% of equity. In June 2010, we opened our first venue. It was one of the first fish spas in London. And we soon attracted a lot of customers. December 2010, we opened our Soho venue. And this is an illustration of the facilities. A garden feature, fish pedicure hall, also a modern Japanese bar with fish manicure areas.
Our first year turnover is a bit over 400,000. The 150,000 investment will be used to open 2 more shops. The further expansion would establish our brand, as well as to broaden the customer base that we have. Please feel free to try it.
I'll try it, shall I?
An orderly pitch from husband and wife team To Chan and Karen Ho. To expand their new beauty treatment brand, the couple are prepared to give away 30% equity, but need a £150,000 cash injection in return. Peter Jones is keen to put their claims to the test.
Put 1 foot in.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, what? They're all grabbing for me. That's weird.
Yes.
It's so
You've got some
ticklish.
fish on the
Yeah,
top of your
it's a little
feet.
bit. After 2 minutes, you enjoy it so
2
much.
minutes.
You must do better than our lady customers who are fine after 5 seconds.
Go on, what's it feel like?
Honestly, it feels like they're tickling and they're sucking on me. It feels quite weird and it's starting to make me sweat very quickly.
What fish are they?
They're called Gara rufa.
So what are they doing? Can I just ask? They're eating part of my skin.
Yes, your skin is protein to them.
They're gently sucking away on your feet. I usually describe to customers as 1,000 kisses.
Have you not fed these fish for ages?
No,
They were fed yesterday by a few customers.
How long does it take for them to clean these feet?
And the optimal effect is around 25 minutes per session.
I will say that I do feel very different than when I first went in. It is quite strangely, weirdly cleansing.
one successful demonstration and one dragon convert.
Just feel your feet. Are they softer?
I can feel that they're soft immediately. Amazingly soft.
But now spa and health club owner Duncan Bannatyne wants to focus on the business itself.
Karen in tow.
Yes.
So, in year one, your turnover was £400,000.
Yep.
Right. What was your gross profit?
About 180 something.
What was your net profit?
About 112.
That sounds a really big profit margin in this industry. Now, is that growing on a month-by-month basis? Or do you have blips when it goes up, when it comes down?
There would be, of course, blips.
Yeah.
But then what is important is that we are seeing people saying that it's great, we'll come back, or it's great, we'll recommend to friends, and that people start using our loyalty cards.
So are you the only people doing this in the UK?
We are not the only people in the UK,
Is
no.
there people doing it as well?
There are other people, yes.
Yeah, how many competitors have we got?
It's not that important to count who the competitors are. It's more important to decide in this new market how we're going to play 3 years down the line.
Assured and reasoned responses from the confident entrepreneurs. Theo Paphitis looks intrigued.
So this is something you just decided to do?
Yes. We went to Macau, and there was a hotel in Macau, and they had a fish bar there. We tried it. It was amazing. We came back, and we quit our jobs, and we started this. And we think business is fun. We really like business.
What's your background?
We studied in University of Oxford, both in science degrees.
What degree did you get?
First class honour, Gibbs Prize.
Karen?
Merton College, Oxford, and I did physics.
And what did you do after that?
I went to Lehman Brothers to become a quantitative trader.
You went to Lehman Brothers?
Yes.
Strategy consultant for one of those consulting firms in London.
Magnificent.
The impressive duo may be garnering praise from the Dragons, but it's their £150,000 Toe and Karen really need. Will Hilary Devey find a reason to invest?
Is your vision to continue opening shops, or is your vision to sell this product to existing spas? I mean, I go in nail bars and the turnover is phenomenal in such a small place. I've actually sat there and calculated their profit whilst I've been having my nails done. Now, I could imagine that product going in to a salon type operation like that, and that would make that salon more profitable. So is that element part of your business plan?
We cultivate our brand very carefully. We will not open too many. We will not spread it everywhere. Maybe one capital will only have a few. But we are prepared to expand overseas if need be.
Explain your logic there.
It is most important for us to make sure our brand is good. If an independent spa decides to cut on their costs, then we have very little control. And once damage is done, it's done.
I'm sorry, but I do disagree, because I'm all about growth and profit. You know, yes, I'm very brand conscious, but I think there's ways you can do it without brand denigration. So I think your whole business strategy for growth, for profitability, because let's face it, that's what we're all in business for. We're in business to make money, and I think you've missed a trick somewhere. And because of that, I think we conflict. So, I'm out.
A first blow as strategic differences caused the couple to lose one dragon. And Deborah Meaden looks to have something on her mind too.
Can you breed these fish? Have you thought about breeding these fish?
Yes, we have thought about breeding this fish, but at present we have not put that into plan.
So you buy live fish, and they're all live?
Yeah.
Do you know, tanks and cages make me feel sad. I think you guys are very good and you've come up with a very good business model, but I don't like export trade in live animals at all.
Yep.
It's not a type of business that I would operate in. I'm out.
It's fine.
Okay, Karen, so I don't doubt for 1 minute that you are two great young entrepreneurs, And what you've done, I think, is absolutely wonderful. It's magnificent. So I think you should continue doing what you're doing. But you don't have something that can't be copied. Everybody can copy it. So I'm not going to invest. I'm out.
Two more dragons out, and the investment tide looks to be turning against Toe and Karen. But can high street expert Theo Pafitis see a money-making future in this business?
I've got to be honest, I find it very difficult to make a decision. Because you two are good. You qualify, you get a tick in the box. I worry about the barrier to entry. It's not a lot. I then worry about how you move the brand across. Because I'm pretty certain within a short period of time, this market will be congested. And I'll then be relying on how you separate your business from the crowd. When I take all those things into account, I don't quite get to a yes.
Okay.
Okay.
That's fine.
I'm out.
Great. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Toe, Karen, you've without question proved your level of aptitude when it comes to looking at a business and trying to make a business work. And I enjoyed it, and I'm sitting here thinking, this is great. One last question that I've got, though. You're in here wearing dirty trainers. Is there a reason for dressing in oil-based jeans? And
I can explain why. We painted the floor ourselves. We did the sewing ourselves.
We are very hands-on people. And if need be, we'll get ourselves dirty.
That's a really good answer, by the way. In terms of the business opportunity, I'm literally on a balance that close. The 112k that you made, how much of that would you normally have taken as salaries?
We take minimum wage.
Yeah, but how much realistically would you like to see yourself taking in the next 12 months?
We are going to put most of our money back into investment to realize our strategy of opening more shops. So our current position of taking minimum wage only will hold.
Does your business have any debt in it?
63,000.
63.
That's the loan to support the opening of the Soho venue.
So Karen, I think it's just tipping the balance the other way, unfortunately. I don't see how I can make money at 30% of your business. I'm going to say to you, I'm not going to invest, and I'm out.
The Dragons may have been tempted by the proposal, but none could find a reason to invest their £150,000. Toe and Karen leave with nothing. This year, the Den has played host to a number of products aimed at the health and fitness market. But so far, we've yet to see the Dragons invest in one. Business partners Scott Robert Shaw and Lee Collinson James wanted £100,000 to get us all skipping to a different beat.
We believe that skipping is for everybody. We wanted to bring a fusion of sports skipping and street dance, which is skip hop.
Shake that.
It may not have been a scientific assessment, but the Den demo achieved only a 50% success rate.
Should we skip together, Peter?
Duncan can sit. I've never tried it.
Hang on, Duncan.
My Hillary. Give me half an hour, I can have you skipping.
Having tried the skipping, the Dragons got down to numbers. Was the duo's success rate any better there?
Have you ever heard of the saying, mountain to climb?
Certainly have.
You got several before you can convince me to invest £100,000 on a skipping rope.
OK.
You've got a business that you're valuing at £500,000. How? Come on, snap, snap.
Okay.
You should have the answer. You're
I have the
coming here
answer.
asking us for 100 grand.
We have done a lot of study. We believe that the turnover is more than achievable.
Do you know what? I don't believe it.
In the end, it was 100% of the Dragons who chose not to invest. And that signalled the end for Scott and Lee.
Tell me your background. Where have you come from?
I was a self-employed skipping coach. I was making a very good living until I decided that we ought to start my own business and do it my way.
So you weren't really good money, doing really well, things were great, and then you started this business.
Yes.
What do you think the conclusion would be if I said that to you?
Yes, I can see where you're leading with this. Yeah.
Now, don't suggest where I'm leading. What would your advice be?
Don't do it.
And that's why I'm out.
The Dragons know nothing about the product or the entrepreneurs they see until they walk up the stairs into the Den. So don't be surprised if the multimillionaires ask searching questions before deciding whether to invest. Is successful entrepreneur Alan Pearson from Middlesbrough ready for the challenge?
Hello, my name's Alan Pearson. I'm a sign manufacturer from Teesside, and I have two products here that I'm going to pitch to you. I have the first, which is street nameplates, and the second is a new product called Strim Base. The street nameplates, it's a recycled plastic product and recyclable plastic product. We've been selling around £100,000 worth of them a year. And the other product I have is something that I developed off the back of this product. One of my councils I was selling to was putting a concrete base around the bottom of the street nameplate. It's cheaper to do that in the long term than actually strim round them. So I came up with a product that could be mowed over, will stop the grass growing around the posts, and
is that it?
Sorry, I'm looking for £100,000. I'm looking for a 10% to give a 10% equity in the company for £100,000. Thank you very much.
An understated pitch from nervy Teessider Alan Pearson. He's looking for a cash investment in his new business, specialising in street signs and a maintenance-friendly accessory. Deborah Meaden is in need of some clarity.
What I'd like to understand is what your business looks like at the moment, because I think you said that you sold £100,000 worth of this product, but that kind of implies there's another business that's sitting behind all of this.
Yeah, this would form a new business. I have an existing business, Ensign, which is sign manufacturing.
Sorry, so the business that you've currently got, I mean, is it profitable?
Yes.
How
The
much
turnover this year was around about £800,000, and it was we made a good profit.
A good profit? What's a good profit?
Well, yeah. I'd rather not. That's. We're looking at this year. We made about 60,000.
So £800,000 net profit, £60,000. Park that business to one side, and this product here that you sold £100,000 of, how much profit did that make?
We'd be looking at about 60,000 gross.
Right. So presumably you've got accounts.
Yes.
So what do those accounts you say?
Well, this is part of the Ensign business at the moment. This has been. This is part of Ensign.
So you've got a product, a new product sitting inside your existing sign business. Now I'm really interested to understand why you've decided to take these out of your existing business.
Because I think that these products would be of interest to you. The sign business, standing on its own, doesn't need the investment.
Just so you know, investing in a business that has a proven track record and is making a profit is always of interest to a dragon.
An awkward first exchange from the tongue-tied entrepreneur. Will he fare any better under questioning from Peter Jones?
I think it's quite appropriate that you brought in a sign with Dragon's Court on it.
Yeah.
Because if I was a judge, I'd be sentencing you to making probably the worst presentation that I've ever seen in the Den. Is there a reason why your pitch was so slapdash, amazingly average? There seems to be a lot more there.
I had it all in my head when I came up the stairs, Peter, and it all fell apart as soon as I got to the top of the stairs, really.
Can we start again? And I just want to see whether you're at all interested in engaging in a conversation that actually says, I'm willing to change my pitch and you can invest in the overall business and have a slice of the overall business rather than the separation of products.
Yes, I would.
Okay. So let's talk about the future. If things go according to plan, based around the current business you've got, what is your current forecast for the next 12 months?
Well, I would expect to turn over 1.1, 1.2 million, 1.1 million pounds.
What do you think your gross profit will be?
I'd be looking at 100 to 120 gross.
Gross?
Yeah. Oh, sorry, net, sorry.
Yeah, what's your gross?
Gross.
If you take the average of the last 3 years, in percentage terms, what have you made gross profit in percentage margin?
We make around about 100%.
We can't.
Yeah, with overheads and costs. Gross...
Markup.
Sorry.
Margin or markup?
So your gross margin is around 50%?
Double what we...
OK, well, that's 50% gross margin.
Yeah.
The proposition may have changed, but Alan's nerves have yet to settle. Can Theopophetis make sense of the Teessider's business?
So 100,000 of the 800,000 comes from that sign. Where does the other 700,000 come from?
Potentials.
No, you said your turnover last year was 800,000.
Yeah, on the sign manufacturing as a whole. So 700,000 selling to people like you.
At the moment, what you've said to us is you're happy to throw the whole business in.
Yes.
So now I'm saying I understand where £100,000 of the turnover of your business comes from.
Yes.
The other 700,000, talk me through it.
We're general sign manufacturers and the...
Shop signs?
Shop signs, van signs.
Do you have any big repeat customer base?
Yeah, we have a number of big customers, blue chip companies.
And you made 60,000 profit. Have you always made a profit?
Yes.
And after your wage, what's your wages?
I take as I need. I don't have a specific amount that I take every month.
Just an example, you made 60,000 profit after how much drawings?
I would probably say about 40.
Alan, in your company accounts, every year, at the end of the year, you have to state what salary you've taken. OK, so you must know what it is. You can't just say, well, I just take this. You know. So what did you take in your last year as a director?
£4,600.
4,600 in the full year?
So I thought you said to Theo you took 40,000.
Yeah, I have a director's loan account that I draw down off.
You've got to clear that.
That's a little bit misleading, because Theo specifically asked you what you were taking from the business.
Yeah, what I was taking from the business was £40,000 a year.
How did
you just answered Duncan £4,000.
No, a wage 4,000. I've just said I take.
That's a little disingenuous. Now that would tell us, the information we glean from that is you're able to draw £40,000 and it still makes £60,000 profit.
Yeah, okay.
Now that is a world of difference from a business that actually can only afford £4,000 worth of wages and make £60,000 profit. Because you turn from a business that might have potential to a business that's just about paying your wage. Alan, your job was to take me down a path that led me to a conclusion that made me want to invest in your business. And you haven't done it.
I appreciate that entirely.
So I'm out.
Confusion reigns in the Den, and a dazed-looking Alan loses his first dragon. Theopophetis is not looking impressed either.
Alan, in some ways I can forgive you for not knowing all the figures like the back of your hand. But I don't think there was any doubt in your mind the difference between salary and drawings.
I wasn't asked that, though, Theo. I was asked what I took out of the business, which is the difference. Yeah, misleading.
Misleading? Misleading. You were misleading in your answers. And actually, a bright little product. Potential. But I'm sorry to say, you have not covered yourself with too much credibility here today.
I appreciate that.
So I cannot invest in you. And for that reason, I'm going to say I'm out.
Okay. And I didn't mean to be misleading. You know, that's something that I had no intention of.
Alan, if you can't come on here and prepare yourself for the interrogation that you know you would get, if you're looking at anybody to invest, they would be asking for this information. So why wasn't you prepared? And secondly, how do you hope to grow your business if you can't even motivate yourself to do what should have been the biggest pitch of your life? How on earth do you expect anybody to invest in you, your product, or this company? You would make my foot itch. I'm sorry, Alan, it just doesn't go. I'm out.
2 more dragons out, and Alan's chances of investment are looking slim. Will Duncan Bannatyne throw him the financial lifeline he badly needs?
I think you would be such hard work, Alan. I just can't understand you and understand how you work. And so for that reason, and that reason only, I've got to say I'm out.
Alan, have you got a business that could be invested in is the bottom line? And I think there lies the biggest issue, is that it is still a quagmire. And I think the only major mistake that you've made, and you're going to regret this, is not knowing your core business as well as perhaps you should. I can't invest in you. I'm out.
A devastating end for Alan. It was a shaky start, and his pitch never gained momentum. He leaves with nothing.
I walked up the stairs and immediately I was up there all, you know, what I had in my head to talk about went. We barely touched the products that I brought to show them and hope that they'd invest in them, and came away feeling a complete idiot.
The higher the investment an entrepreneur demands, the greater the scrutiny they must expect, because it's the Dragon's own money that's being put at risk. So when Londoner Jonathan Kaplan asked for a £275,000 stake in a new poker console, he was on the receiving end of some tough questioning.
Our flagship product is the wireless poker controller. It's a handheld joystick that enables you to play the poker game in a faster, more accurate and more efficient manner. We've currently sold 10,000 of our wireless poker controllers to date, and the product is currently being used in over 25 countries worldwide.
It was an assured pitch from the entrepreneur.
Can I use that?
Absolutely, please.
And enthusiastic poker player Duncan Bannatyne enjoyed the demonstration.
Is this a real game?
It's a real game, real money.
This is real?
I can do everything from the controller. Now, if I turn my finger, the bet goes up and down.
OK, we want a flush. OK, I've lost any money. OK.
But then the business interrogation commenced.
Jonathan, what did you do before you did this?
I decided to go and start my own company. It was an online gaming company, but it took the aspects of what the poker rooms do.
OK, and how much money was invested in that company?
£4.8 million.
You got £4.8 million worth of investment.
Mm-hmm.
And how much of the company did you own?
About 14%.
And what happened to that company?
As I started the company, I raised the majority of the first money.
Yeah, what happened to the company?
At the point that I took the company to, it was successful.
Jonathan, what happened to the business?
I left before...
Where is that 14%
They liquidated
today?
the company about a year ago.
In the end, it was Theo Paphitis who summed up the mood in the den.
Jonathan, your previous track record shows that I'm likely to lose my money.
I appreciate I obviously don't have amazing successes to show where I have returns on investment.
Jonathan, with all due respect, you have no successes to show.
Okay.
I reckon the odds probably are better just to go to a casino and put £275,000 on red or black. I'm out.
Okay, thank you for your time.
So far tonight, the entrepreneurs have failed to convince the Dragons to part with their cash.
You would make my footage. I'm out.
To find out what our newest dragon, Hilary Devey, makes of her experience so far in the Den, press the red button at the end of the programme. 29-year-old London-based twins, Polly and Charlotte Vickery, are experienced in the fashion sector, and they've recently launched their own range. But to expand, their company needs investment, and that's where the Dragons come in. Will they see potential in these two young entrepreneurs?
Hi Dragons, my name's Polly and this is my sister and business partner Charlotte, and we're here today to ask you for £65,000 worth of investment for 20% of our company. Since Brat & Susie launched, we have established a reputation for our unique hand-drawn illustrated animal t-shirts on tops. Our customers are,
15 to 35-year-olds.
Yeah. We work with different illustrators to create our one-off quirky prints, and we follow the trends.
And we've had great press. We've been in magazines such as Closer, Look, Company and Cosmopolitan. And we're also loved by girl band The Saturdays.
Since starting of trading in 2009, we are now in 60 stores, as well as a major high street department store.
Thank you for listening. We'd now like to invite any questions.
A bright pitch from East London twins Polly and Charlotte Vickery. In return for a 20% stake in their online and high street fashion label, they need a £65,000 cash injection.
I noticed a few people have got a horse. You've given me a pig.
Yeah, because we thought it was rock and roll.
Yeah.
Retail fashion expert Theo Pafitis is first to question the young entrepreneurs.
Guys, hello, I'm Theo. How many pieces in the range?
About 25. Yeah.
Is that normal?
This is no, our autumn-winter range is a lot bigger because it's new.
Give me numbers.
About 35.
And up to this stage, you've just been T-shirts?
And sweatshirts.
OK, so what makes you comfortable about moving into other products? I assume it's dresses?
Dresses, tops,
skirts.
Skirts.
Well, most of our customers have asked us for different products.
They want to see a full range.
Yeah, and they want to see a full range.
With our previous experience dealing with factories, and we know all the problems that can go wrong, and you know, we've dealt with that in the past.
So we're quite comfortable with how to move forward.
And what sort of margin are you achieving?
38%.
Gross profit is 41%, and net profit is 15%.
A typical order will be how much pre-sold and how much for stock?
Probably 80% pre-sold, and then maybe 10 to 20% stock.
Right, so you're not being that adventurous, are you?
No. Well, cash flow, isn't it? So we have to be careful.
Targeted questioning and detailed responses. It's a good start for the duo. But what of the brand itself? Duncan Bannatyne wants to know.
Brat and Susie.
Yeah.
Where did the name come from?
We had two cats when we were little, and they were called Brat and Susie.
Oh,
and
right.
We really loved them. So
and that became the name of your business?
Yeah.
When was the company formed, or the business
2
formed?
years ago.
Yeah.
2 years ago?
Yeah.
And what was the turnover for the first year?
77,000. We made 9,000 net profit.
And the second year?
105,000.
Yep.
And we made 15,000.
Now, when you say you're in stores, what kind of stores? Independents or chains? Or?
Independence, and then Joy, and then also House of Fraser.
What did you do before
I used to work in production at River Island, so my background is mainly fashion
And then
production.
I was a designer at Miss Selfridge, and then I've just worked for high street suppliers as a designer.
The confident fashion twins are going down well in the Den. But Peter Jones thinks he's spotted a flaw in their business model.
Your gross margin seems to be very low.
41%. Yeah, we're working on that.
Yeah, because we don't have the larger orders, we're still paying quite a high cost price for our T-shirts. But once we get larger orders, and we'll be able to negotiate better prices with our factories.
The second issue is the copycats, because it means you've got to continue to innovate and continue to come up with new designs.
I think with our design, well, with especially Charlotte's design background, we're always moving with the trends anyway, so we won't have things on the rails, hopefully, for too long. We'll have new things coming in.
We do have, like, our loyal customers and kind of selling it on our personalities as well.
And I think the high street are always going to copy something.
So, Polly, Charlotte, hi, I'm Deborah. What are you paying for your illustrations?
We pay, it's quite small, we pay £20 to each illustrator.
Flat fee.
Flat fee. We blog about them, and we help them out as much as
So they see it as a way of getting their illustrations around.
Yeah.
Because I've got to tell you, I think it's great. I love the illustrations. But I don't see this as a strongly branded clothing range yet. I know you'll say it's your illustrations, but as Peter's just described, that's quite easy to find another illustrator to come up with something and print it on a T-shirt. So I think to turn this into a real, you know, that's Brat and Susie, you need to come up with something a lot stronger.
Yeah.
You've got a good eye, you've got a good turnover, you've got yourself into some good shops, so just keep going at it. Just keep going at it. But it isn't yet a strong brand. Hone that down so it's got a look.
Thank you.
But I'm afraid for that reason I won't be investing. I'm out.
Thank you.
A first blow to the duo's investment hopes. But 4 dragons still remain. Will retail expert Theo Pafitis take a different view?
I love seeing new designers. I love people who bring out new ranges. It's like the lifeblood of the industry. But I've got to agree with Deborah. I'm looking really...
I think, though, with investment and with going forward, with more time to expand on the range...
Look, your margins are rubbish. You need to be able to work a lot sharper than that. You're not going to do that until you do quite substantially bigger volumes. So for a long time, unless you are actually able to get big orders from the multiples, you're not going to be able to work those margins down. That necessarily is not the end of the world. Problem is, the name's great, but there's no overriding brand yet.
I think we're close. I think with the magazine coverage as well that we've had, because it's really hard to like reflect the brand just on a rail here now.
No, it's not. I'm sorry. Remember, that's what you've got.
Yeah.
That is you. And that rail has to represent you and your brand.
Yeah.
So, I'm out, but real good luck from me.
Thank you.
Charlotte, Polly, you know, the fact that Theo was in this industry, I'm not. So there's not really anything I can add to your company. I can't really bring you any expertise to help you to sell your products. So, I'm out.
Polly, Charlotte, I invested in the Den, in a business with Victoria McGrange called Neurotica. Yeah. We're right in talks at the moment about actually having to go in and invest more money today, purely on the basis of the fact that as she's scaled her business, she can't fulfil the orders without a fair amount of cash.
Okay.
So it's a capital-intensive business.
Yeah.
But it's not something that I could invest in, so I'm going to say I'm out.
3 dragons walk away from the deal, and the crestfallen twins have just one opportunity left. Can Hilary DeVay find a reason to invest?
So, it just leaves me. I've had experience in the rag trade. I know how difficult a market it is.
But it's so much fun to
And I
work
know
in the rag
so
trade.
many companies that have gone under, come back, go under, come back. Many brands that was top of the...
Not very cautious, but we are sensible. We're not going to do anything irrational.
Do you know something? I can't think of any other sector that's more high risk in every possible facet, down from production to the logistics of it, to the manufacturing, to the sourcing of the garment, to the actual retailing of the garment, to getting it there on time.
But that's all part of the fun.
Well, it's part of the fun if you're doing it with my money, but it's not part of the fun if it is my money.
Agreed, but
I mean, what is your vision?
We want to get into doing denim, accessories and outerwear, maybe have a shop and then open...
I was hoping you wouldn't say that.
I don't think we do want to have a shop. That's her idea. Don't listen to her.
Don't listen to me.
I don't think we should have a shop.
My heart is saying, I'd really love to work with you. It'd be fantastic fun. I'm really into fashion. I love it. But my head, commercially, is saying, wow, Hillary, no.
Okay.
But you're both clearly very, very talented girls.
Thank you.
So, I'm out. Good luck.
Thanks a lot.
Holly.
Holly and Charlotte charmed the Dragons, but couldn't convince them there was a big enough financial future for their business. They leave with nothing.
Amazing. All 5 of us really like them, but they didn't get investment.
Because they're not going to be a success doing this time round. I think we all recognise that.
They only need one bad order.
And they're finished.
And they're finished.
Correct.
Other entrepreneurs who tried and failed in the Den included Michelle Smith from Dorset. She needed £80,000 for her aptly named motorbike accessory that gives pillion passengers a more secure ride.
Sticky Butt is a 2-part harness system that stops a person from sliding while seated. Part 1 is the harness, which is worn by the individual. The second part is a seat wrap that fits on the motorcycle.
In the absence of a test track...
You're welcome to try and destroy it.
Don't tempt me.
The innovative entrepreneur had an unusual method of demonstrating her product.
Can you do it with no hands, Theo?
But whereas the Den destroyer couldn't fault her invention, the remaining dragons did destroy Michelle's hopes of investment.
You're dealing with such a niche market that it isn't a business. You know, you may sell a few, but I don't think it's going to keep you in luxury or even comfort. So, I'm out.
David Baker from West Sussex wanted £150,000 for just 10% of his modern take on a layout originally patented back in 1878.
I've been developing a new style of keyboard for these screens. They use a triangular key. This helps to stop hitting 2 keys at the same time.
One multimillionaire gave a rare glimpse of what he gets up to in his spare time.
How many do you think you can sell?
Well, can you name a popular app? Any one?
Angry Birds?
$44 million on the iPhone alone.
I don't think you can compare that with Angry Birds. Not only have we all downloaded Angry Birds, we've downloaded Angry Birds Christmas Special.
Yeah.
Angry Birds Easter. Angry Birds Sky Fox Night.
OK.
There's so many.
But it was an angry dragon who marked the end of David's time in the Den.
You stand in front of a group of people who could change your life overnight. You come in here and you say, I value this at 1.5 million, although I've only got £1,200 worth of turnover.
Well, if you would like to sort of put forward what you seem to be better off,
I couldn't, listen, I wouldn't give you £150,000 for 100% of it at the moment. And therefore, the next 2 words that come out of my mouth are...
I'm out.
I'm out.
You need a predictive text.
Entrepreneurs often have ideas for businesses from their own hobbies. Former fireman Andy Bates from Suffolk turned his passion for motor racing into his own company. Now he wants a dragon on board to help bring his latest development to market.
My name is Andy Bates, and I'm here today to ask you for an investment of £50,000 for 10% of the equity in my company, AB Performance Limited. I set the company up after a high-speed racing accident effectively ended my racing career and my fire service career of 24 years. During some long enforced stays in hospital, I had time to consider the future. The area that interested me was motorsport. At the same time, British motor racing circuit owners were throwing their doors open to the public. Anyone could take to the track in the car of their choice. It became obvious to me that the bike-powered car had a large part to play in all of this. Relatively low build costs and the ability to out-accelerate, out-brake and out-turn many factory supercars costing 10 times the amount. So first came my engine business. Sourcing, supplying, importing, stripping, rebuilding and tuning superbike engines specifically for use in cars. The next logical step was Sabre. Take all of the information and produce our own factory supercar. Sabre, at its first race this year, went from position 26 to position 2 in 18 laps. Thank you very much for your time, and I'd like to open the floor to questions now.
Can I have a look at the car?
Yes.
An eye-catching pitch from automobile enthusiast Andy Bates. He's hoping that by having two sides to his business, manufacturing racing cars as well as servicing the motorbike engines, he'll tempt the Dragons to invest £50,000 for a 10% stake. Something seems to have intrigued Duncan Bannatyne.
Andy, tell me a little bit more about your accident.
I basically ran out of talent. I made a mistake one day and hit the wall at Alton very, very fast. I broke my spine in 4 places and basically shattered my right knee.
How long did it take you to recover?
About 2 years.
And when you were racing, that was a part-time thing and you were also a full-time fireman?
Yeah. When I then went back, I had to prove that I was physically fit enough to do the operational side of the job. I knew the damage to my right knee, in actual fact, was the big problem. So I was basically went out on ill health in the end.
Right.
This business came as a change I wasn't expecting. I'd worked for the fire service for so long, and I think you go down the routes of thinking, well, because I've done this for so long, that's all I can do. I had to find something, and the only thing I knew how to do was motorsport.
A compelling story from the passionate entrepreneur. But what of his company? Theo Paphitis is next to cross-examine the Suffolk-based race engineer.
Andy, I'm Theo.
Pleased to meet you.
Before I get into the serious questions, what's its 0 to 60, 0 to 100?
Probably around about the 3.6 to 3.8 second mark.
OK, that's a 60.
Yeah.
OK, you haven't given me a price.
To give you an example, this car here retailed at £25,000.
What chassis have you got them on?
We make our own.
You said the investment is to go into your main holding company.
Yes.
How long have you had that, and does it make... what's the numbers on that?
If I can give you the background that led to where I am now, 5 years trading as a sole trader, during which time, total turnover £630,000, of which I generated £67,000 net profit. Didn't see the profits I should have seen because I was ploughing it into this project, basically. This year, I changed the company to a limited company. I've got fixed assets of about £120,000, and I've got work in progress in the unit valued at £15,000 at the moment.
OK. What do you think I or any of the other Dragons can add to your business?
If I'm totally honest with you, I have a very, very high understanding of this, the mechanics of all of this. The business lessons have come hard and fast. I was never a businessman. I know I can make money doing it. What I'm looking at now is getting somebody on board who has an interest in the company and helping me push it to what I think the next level is.
Fluent and articulate responses, the Dragons have certainly warmed to Andy. Now, Peter Jones wants to drill down into the company financials.
Hi Andy, I'm Peter. Compelling pitch from a visual perspective. I love cars. You're taking a passion, a love. The reality is now you get into a stage where how do I turn this or make this into some sort of business that is going to give me a bit of a future? You know, where could this go? Where is the money?
My projections are as follows. I've assumed 10% growth, and I've based it on the sale of 2 cars in year 1, 5 cars in year 2.
So give me a profit number.
The first 4 months of the year are usually our quietest time. I've actually had my best 4 months of trading this year.
Okay.
So I think we will turn over 200,000 this year, and I will make £40,000 net profit. Year 2...
Hang on. You sell the cars at 25,000 each. You're only going to sell 2. That's 50,000. Where's the other 150,000 in revenue coming from?
From the rest of the business. It's an investment in the whole company.
Okay, so where's the rest of the business then in terms of that profit and that 150k?
I've already turned over 60,000 in the first 4 months of this year.
And what else do you do?
Servicing, tuning, rebuilds of cars that are crashed, anything to do with racing, driving, bike engine cars, we do at AB Performance.
A quick fire exchange, and Andy seems as knowledgeable about his numbers as he is with his engines. But he's yet to receive an offer. Has Hilary Devey heard enough to part with £50,000?
Andy, have you thought of any other markets for this?
Yes, I've actually got a chap in America who's been asking questions about what are we doing with the car, could we get one out there to have a look at. I've got a guy in Switzerland who's inquiring about the car, but it's not cast in stone, and I wouldn't dare put that in front of people and say, look, we've got a marketplace.
Okay. See, I'm struggling to find a bigger market than what you're currently looking at. I mean, they can't be used as a road car, can they?
Yes, you could have this car on the road. So long as we comply with emissions, with the position of the lights, this one's too low, we'd have to jack it up a bit.
How safe is it?
We actually have an issue with the fact that we've got to make the bodywork lighter because I wouldn't compromise the chassis. It's a fully triangulated chassis. The side impact bars were drawn out.
You've lost me now. I haven't got the slightest clue what you're talking about. It's not really my market, and what worries me more is what could I bring to you? I'm out.
Thank you very much.
Andy's impressive run comes to an end as Hilary Devey fails to spot money-making potential. Will Deborah Meaden find a reason to invest?
Andy, how many of this type of car will be in existence right now?
Right now, bike engine cars, there's no way of putting a number of the bike engine cars that are actually used on the road. Race series, there are probably 400 or 500 serious race cars with bike engines in that I'm aware of, but I think it's a market that will increase.
I've got to say, you come across really well, but the trouble is you haven't been able to show a clear way to make money with this car. So I'm sorry for that reason. I'm out.
Thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
Andy? You sound great. You're having a ball. You're looking for a partner, not just a financial partner. You're looking for a pretty hands-on partner. I'd have to be spending more time with you and your business than I'd spend my own business.
Right.
So I'm going to wish you the best of luck. I'm out.
2 more dragons walk away from the deal. But has Peter Jones spotted an opportunity where his rivals have not?
Andy, well, I love your honesty, and you've been very, very straight in terms of how you've got to this stage. But it's a pretty limited market, so you're going to need a lot of time, or at least a lot of effort in turning what you've currently got and making it into a business. And I think that makes it, you know, unfortunately for you, a very difficult decision for anybody to invest. That's where it kind of falls down. But it also falls up in terms of I've got some thoughts of what could be done, and I am annoyingly into cars, and I'm not being blinded by it, but I have got some ideas. So I've decided to make you an offer.
Thank you.
all of the money. But in return, I want 35% of your business.
Right, OK.
A dramatic about-turn, and Andy's thrown a financial lifeline. But Peter Jones is demanding 3.5 times the equity originally on offer. With one more dragon remaining, can the likeable entrepreneur negotiate himself a better deal?
Andy, I'm really surprised that Peter made you an offer without getting the second and third year's turnover and profits. So what are they?
Second year was 300,000, net profit at 60,000.
Yep.
And year 3, 500,000 turnover with a net profit of 100,000.
So I'm going to make you an offer, but I want a higher percentage. I'll offer you £50,000. I want 50% of the business, but you reach your projection over the 3 years, and I'll reduce that to 25%.
Thank you. Sorry, I wasn't expecting to have one offer, let alone two on the table. I think I'd like to take your offer, Peter. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Well done. Fantastic.
Andy has done it. The investment comes at a price, but he walks away with the backing of a passionate and influential dragon on board. Well, Andy, well done. Tell me why you took Peter's offer rather than Duncan's, because Duncan's could have been better if you met all your targets.
I'd obviously done some research going in, knew Peter's interest in motorsport. I think for what we need, you need passion. And I wanted Peter on board, really, to drive the project. So offer was a bit tighter, but I think he's the man that we needed in place.
They say that perseverance pays, and it certainly has for Andy Bates. 5 years of hard graft building up his business, and he had 2 multimillionaire investors vying for a share in his company. To hear more from the entrepreneurs about their time in the Den, press the red button now. You can also visit our website, bbc.co.uk, Dragon's Den. Goodbye. Next time on Dragon's Den.
A fatality has happened in the Den.
How much money have you put into this business?
Just over 200,000.
Oh my God. The snot is there, you can see it. You just tweaky, weaky, 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 woo.
Do you not think you should have investigated why your turnover's growing but your profitability's remaining static?
Perhaps I should have done it.
So because I like the product so much, I'm going to make you an offer.